Hey YouTube, what's going on? Today we're going to be looking at how to make custom fatality x-ray figures with a simple mold and some simple cheap supplies. Let's check it out.
Behold my stuff.
So I love me a Mortal Kombat diorama, but it occurred to me that there's got to be a way to do fatalities slightly better than just having some slap-on blood parts or a skeleton wrapped in some fire. And then I had an idea. These 7-inch skeletons were from Michael's over the Halloween season. They're about $5 and you get 2 of them. And I thought, wouldn't it be interesting if we could build a body around these that was see-through, and then you could paint as you saw fit and do yourself a nice little x-ray figure, so to speak. And I thought about that, and I thought, there's got to be a way to do that. And then it occurred to me, I need a mold. Behold, the 1/10 scale action figure mold, which you can get on Amazon for about $8. It's really, really simple. You put the skeleton on the inside, and you mold it. But then it occurred to me, there's not an injection, and I wasn't really quite sure how I can make that work. But UV resin. UV flex resin gives us the ability to cure and do with UV by painting into the mold, make it nice and light, make it nice and flexible, then go ahead and put the skeleton bits in, pour more UV resin over that, get it nice and even, put the two halves together, and combine them. Problem number 1 is the skeleton by itself won't fit as is. So, we need to break them up. Now, even if I place this kind of how I want, it's not going to be a perfect fit. These feet aren't going to fit into these feet. These hands aren't going to fit into these hands. But it occurs to me that I don't actually need the hands or the feet or the legs, quite frankly, because I'm more than likely going to just cast an upper body and place it on a spare set of legs. Ah, crap. Wait, I need a spare set of legs. All right, let's see what we got for legs. These look a little scrawny. This might work out actually really, really well. I also remembered I repainted a set of Liu Kang MK11 legs like Kung Lao. And this could give us a free base to kind of paint anything we want for any character, because they're releasing a Kung Lao for the McFarlane line, so I don't have to make a custom one. But it also occurs to me, I need a head. Here's a nice screaming ash head, gives it kind of nice Johnny Cage look. That'll be really good, and we can just sculpt the back of the head on that. Alright, let's see. Got a passable Kung Lao head. We could put some generic hair over that face and head. That could work. There's a hood in here somewhere that we could use. Something like that. Something like this would actually work pretty good, so that'll work. We've got some joints to attach everything. We've got a whole bunch of blood. Could possibly put some intestines in the thing. There's a heart in here somewhere. There's one. Could put a heart in, so I don't know. All right, with that little dam, we're going to have to do an initial layer of flex resin so that we have a skin across the back that we can attach this to. Something else that we're going to need, silicone brushes to paint into the mold, and we're going to need some dye, because after the first layer goes in, I think we're going to want to tint this red. So let's go ahead and mix. Actually, let's just do the whole thing red. Let's mix up some and put it in the mold and do our first layer. 2 red drops and a yellow drop. Now we're going to mix. Now that this is all nice and whipped up, we're going to take a pipette cleaner. We're going to suck some of this up. And we're going to start putting it in where we need it. Next, once we spot cure the hands, we put a little bit in, and we're going to spread this out and make as much of a skin over the middle as we can. And then we're going to cure this as quickly as we can so that we have a base to rest the spine in. It's good to cure it for about the full 300 seconds, but basically we're going to do it in little pieces. We're going to do an arm, we're going to do an arm, and once we have a nice thin coat, we're going to rest the rib cage in and then fill it up to half level and then give it a nice good cure. It's time to place this. While that's curing, we went and cast the face. Kind of hard to see if I can catch the light of it. But if I were to paint it, you would be able to see some of the skull and things behind it. So next we can coat the rest of this with that, or we can throw some hair on it. We can do a couple different things with it. All right, so stage 1 is basically done. So as you can see, it has this nice thickness to it. There's this red tint. We are not going to tint what's going in there. The red is going to be accomplished by the back side of it. So that should give that innards and redness that I want. And we're just going to test and see how this fits into this. So can I do it? You can see there's actually a bubble in there. It's not fully cured. This will work just fine. So it looks like it'll attach really, really well. So I just need to fill it a little bit. Went much better. So we just did the torso. So you get a bit of the spine. You can see the spine. You can see the rib cage. You can see the blood. So it's much more of like an X-ray. We're drilling some holes into the side so that you can just slap in some arms or whatever, or maybe you put some, some intestines, a heart, brain, whatever. Looking at, you cast a face, you can you could paint the face, or you can try to leave it translucent. You could put the paint, you could put the face over the skull. And, if I had 2 hands, I could do this. You put the face on over the skull, and then you can sort of peel it away. You can use different skulls, ones that are slightly more detailed. But this is essentially the plan. You can cut away as much of the bottom as you need. Stick it, put the arms in, put a head on, and have an X-ray, and it looks pretty good on a McFarlane. It's kind of cool looking. And there is what the finished example looks like of a nice gut-punching X-ray torso using that method. So, pretty cool. Nice little effect. Makes for a nice shot. Yeah, man, if you can't build it, buy it. If you can't buy it, build it. Sometimes it's really cool when you do both. We drilled some holes into the waist holder, so this now can snap onto a McFarlane waist. We built a piece that has a nub that attaches into the head of any McFarlane, so that way you can have a decapitation, which is like 90% of the fatalities. There's also, we attached a nub into that. The Storm Collectibles arm rip, which we may modify down and make fit McFarlane tabs. We also cut a hole into this guy, so that snaps on and becomes part of decapitation now.